On the 21st of February 2024, gamers were stunned as the shock announcement of Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection spread across social media. The best part, it was releasing in just 3 weeks. While rumors had spread the year prior, this was the first confirmation that the game was officially coming. Alongside both original games, the Classic Collection would include 64-player battles, new maps, new characters, updated visuals and performance, and so much more. Fans were overjoyed. The games they'd fallen in love with nearly 20 years ago were returning to every platform. But it wasn't just a return to their beloved fields of battle. It was a return to a simpler time. A time when gaming was about summer sleepovers, Halo 2 multiplayer, copious amounts of Kool-Aid, and split-screen co-op. A nostalgia trip for the ages. Needless to say, for fans of the original games, it was a dream come true. Furthermore, with the recent additions to the series garnering their own dedicated fan base, a new generation of Battlefront fans were poised to experience the originals in the modern age. But it wasn't all positivity. When passionate fans are along for the ride, attention to detail is critical, and mistakes are easily identified. Eagle-eyed viewers recognized in the announcement trailer the new character Asajj Ventress was holding her lightsabers in an unorthodox fashion. Her original design in the Xbox exclusive DLC that introduced her was 2 lightsabers connected by a cord that would swing about like nunchucks. The announcement trailer for the Nintendo Switch showed Ventress holding 2 separate sabers, like another character in the game, Ayla Secura. This was a problem. You see, modder I Am a Shaman developed a mod in 2021 for Star Wars Battlefront 2 that ported the original Xbox exclusive content onto PC. As a component of that mod, I Am a Shaman used the models and animations of other characters to bring Asajj Ventress and Kit Fisto into the PC version, just as was visible in the announcement trailer. The lack of appropriate accreditation of the work was what sparked the outrage, yet the alleged use of the mod was currently unsubstantiated, but circumstantially did not look good for Aspyr, the development team responsible for the Battlefront Classic Collection. However, I Am a Shaman wasn't upset by the potential inclusion of their work. In fact, in an interview with IGN, the modder had the following to say: "I love the idea of something I made being an official product, let alone an official Star Wars product. Even if it is something I had a hand in making, I release the source files for my mod for anyone to use, modify, improve however they wish. If anything, I am flattered and joyous they chose to use mine for whatever purpose they needed it for. Ultimately, my mod, like all mods, are property of Lucasfilm, and they are free to use it how they wish, as I have agreed to the license agreement regarding releasing mods created with the pandemic modding tools." In the lead up to the release, the controversy was enough to make fans more than a little nervous, but this wasn't the only reason that fans were skeptical. You see, Aspyr had a little bit of a scandalous history with Star Wars titles. Aspyr had ported a large number of Star Wars games in their time, 7 if you're counting. However, it is their ownership of the revival of the cult classic Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic that drew controversy to their doorstep. In June of 2023, Aspyr cancelled a promised DLC to the game they ported to the Nintendo Switch. As a means of reparations, they offered gamers free Star Wars content, but no offer of a refund. This resulted in Aspyr having a class action lawsuit leveled at the developer. Further still, it was recently revealed that Aspyr, who was leading the remake of the original announced in 2021, had yielded the responsibility to Saber Interactive after alleged internal development issues consistently pushing back timelines. With both of these controversies in recent memory, some fans were more than a little jaded, but the community was still excited for the Classic Collection's release. With a mix of excitement and nervous anxiety, gamers waited in eager anticipation for the launch. Then, on the 14th of March 2024, the Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection released, and then the reviews began pouring in. Playing this version of the game is like cheating on your wife, except instead of a hot mistress, it's just Jabba the Hutt pegging you. You may sit in the storefront, but we do not grant you the rank of remaster. Worst atrocity since Order 66. It's the equivalent of finding your kid 20 years later and you see them hooked up on Fent while gooning in their basement. Gamers were furious. Try starting a multiplayer game, you can't. There were 3 available servers for North America on PC. They could each host a total of 64 players, meaning that at any given time, only 192 of the 9,000 concurrent players could play the game online. Reports of this issue were flooding in on Steam at the time of launch, and the word spread quickly.
And today, the Battlefront collection is a catastrophe. How bad is it, Act-Man? It's so bad. Modders are posting bug fixes to Reddit with the actual lines of missing code.
But as it stands, you're not even getting a game. You're getting slapped, spit on, and then beef stewed here bare-assed by this company that's just exploiting your nostalgia. It's tragic.
Oh my god, Battlefront Classic is getting review bombed. I don't think this is a review bomb. This is consequences for your own actions. If you buy a video game and it doesn't fucking work, then it's fucking broken. And if you buy something that's broken, is it unfair to leave a bad review? I don't think so.
And it seems as if Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection literally launched at night with 3 servers, maximum on PC. Yeah, I'm not even joking, 3 servers on PC.
Well, there must have been other options to play multiplayer, surely. Nope, no there wasn't. What about when you're finally in the game? Between game-breaking lag and visual glitches, the experience was jarring to say the least. Gamers began compiling extensive lists of the issues that were present at launch. Here's just a small taste. Names like Jack, Charlotte, Muffin, Potato, and Monkey can't be used because they're offensive, missing half of the cutscenes in the campaign, aim inversion is enabled by default and there's no way to change it, no aim assist in multiplayer, too much aim assist in single player, locked at 30 frames per second, audio cutting out completely in Hero Assault, characters completely invisible. And that's just to name a few. A potential reason for why so many errors were occurring was that some gamers were reporting 2 different versions of the game that were available at launch. Having a different version meant that players couldn't play together, visual differences would occur, and even some features were absent, including split screen functionality. Beyond these issues, the game was 72.58 gigabytes at launch, when the separate original games were collectively less than 12.39 gigabytes. The file size was bigger than the entirety of Elden Ring, an enormous open world game. Keep in mind as well that this game was on sale for $34.99 USD. A common critique was the perceived needlessness of the collection, given that both original games could still be purchased for less than the price of the classic collection. And given the $34.99 USD price tag, there was a quality expectation against the amount of money that fans were strongly in agreement that the game wasn't delivering. With a current Steam rating of overwhelmingly negative with over 6,000 reviews, the reception was bad and the word spread quickly. 2 days after the launch, on the 15th of March, Aspyr finally issued a statement. "We'd like to thank the Battlefront community for their overwhelming support and feedback for the Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection release. At launch, we experienced critical errors with our network infrastructure. The result was incredibly high ping, matchmaking errors, crashes, and servers not appearing in the browser. Since launch, we've been working to address these issues and increase network stability, and we will continue our efforts until our network infrastructure is stabilized to prevent further outages." To make matters worse, the claim that I Am a Shaman's work had been utilized without credit as a part of development appeared to be justified. On March 17th, 3 days after the game's ill-fated launch, the modder took to Twitter to provide further evidence of their unaccredited work being utilized. Seriously, at Aspyr Media, I'm beginning to feel insulted. Nintendo Switch launched with just straight up all My Hero stuff from the mod. Same glitches and bugs, we've data mined it, and it's the exact same files, just using the proper lightsaber attack animations. This is before the patch. I Am a Shaman provided evidence showing the same Kit Fisto animation in the current game and in their previous files from 2021. Then another 2 days later, on March 19th, Aspyr released its first patch for the game, and the reception was actually quite positive. Many of the glitches and bugs that were present at launch had been resolved. Gamers could now actually play the game, and overall things appeared to be looking up. However, for our unaccredited modder, the patch appeared to have not removed their unaccredited work, instead was now simply not using them. Despite this, I Am a Shaman and others came out with positive praise for the game. Some fans were even quick to point out that the turbulent launch of the previous Battlefront games with their overly aggressive microtransaction practices had made a positive improvement over time. Importantly, many of the negative experiences that PC players experienced at launch were not mirrored in the experience of console gamers at the same time. So while the reception and public sentiment was definitely negative towards the game, there were pockets of praise for the game's release. So with the game now in the hands of players, the question that needs to be asked is it too little too late for the Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection? Can nostalgia carry the game to eventual success? Only time will tell.